All right, strap in, everyone. Today we're going deep, really deep,
Deep dive time.
into some pretty mind-bending stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you all sent in some fascinating excerpts from Neville Goddard's Out of This World.
Classic.
And I gotta say, this is not your typical self-help stuff. This is like next level thinking.
Oh, it is.
We're talking about like the power of imagination to shape reality.
To shape reality? Yeah.
But not just like, you know,
Not just like,
think positive and it'll happen.
no,
Yeah.
this is way
Or
beyond.
deeper than that, right?
Way deeper. Goddard, he goes way beyond that. He's saying that our imagination is not just some, whimsical daydream factory.
Right.
It's a force.
Yeah.
A force that can directly influence our experiences.
Okay, so let's unpack that a bit.
Okay.
So we're not just talking about, visualizing a nice vacation and hoping it'll magically appear. We're talking about something much, much deeper, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Goddard, he introduces this idea of what he calls two ways of seeing, the carnal mind and the mind of Christ.
Okay.
Think about it this way. How much of your average day
Yeah.
is spent in that carnal mind, that kind of practical, sense-based mode, just reacting to the world around you? Checking off to-do lists, dealing with traffic, worrying about bills, that kind of stuff.
No, I mean, let's be real. That's a big chunk of my day.
Yeah, probably most people's.
Probably most people's, yeah.
Right, but Goddard's saying there's another way of seeing. This way to tap into what he calls the mind of Christ.
Okay.
That's less about just reacting to the present moment and more about actively shaping our reality through controlled imagination.
So it's like shifting from being on autopilot to actually taking the wheel
Yeah.
and deciding where we want to go.
Exactly, yeah.
I like that.
And he uses this example, imagine you're holding a book in your hand.
All right.
Your carnal mind sees it as, as it is. Pages, cover, weight. You might even smell that old book smell.
I love that old book smell.
Me too. But with that spiritual focus that Goddard's talking about,
Yeah.
you could potentially see the book's whole journey, from the initial idea in the author's mind to the trees being felled for paper to the printing process, the people who bought and read it before you, and even its eventual disintegration back into the earth, all at once.
Whoa. Okay, so instead of just seeing a static object in the present,
Yeah.
we could perceive its whole existence across time.
Exactly, and this is where things start to get really interesting.
Okay.
Because Goddard argues that even those tiny, seemingly insignificant assumptions that we make
Uh-huh.
play a huge role in shaping our reality.
He says, and I love this quote, he says, man's assumptions, which he regards as insignificant, produce effects that are considerable. Therefore, man should revise his estimate of an assumption and recognize its creative power.
Powerful, right?
That's so powerful.
It's not just about, positive thinking. It's recognizing that our fundamental beliefs, the assumptions we hold about ourselves, about the world, they're constantly at work influencing our experiences.
It's like if I'm walking around assuming that I'm not good with money or something,
Yeah.
then I'm probably going to keep attracting those experiences that reinforce that belief.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm walking around assuming that I'm, abundant and capable of managing money well,
Right.
then that belief can actually create the conditions for those to manifest.
So it's not just wishful thinking.
No.
It's about changing the underlying assumptions
Exactly.
that shape our perception of what's possible.
Well, what's even possible, yeah.
I love that. Okay, so this leads us to, I think, one of Goddard's most intriguing concepts, the waking dream technique.
Oh, yeah, this is the good stuff.
This sounds like something straight out of, I don't know, Inception or something. But he actually lays it out in a very practical, step-by-step way.
Very practical. So the first step
Yeah.
is to identify a clear desire.
Okay.
What is it that you really want? Not just kind of daydreaming, but a specific goal in mind.
Right, right.
And then you construct a scene that would logically follow
Okay.
the fulfillment of that desire.
Okay.
So, for example, if you're aiming for a promotion at work,
Mm-hmm.
you might imagine yourself, being congratulated by your boss, shaking their hand, feeling that sense of accomplishment.
And you're not just watching this like as a movie, right?
Yeah.
You're actively participating.
You're in it.
You're in
You're the
it.
central character. You're feeling those emotions. You're experiencing the sensations as vividly as possible.
So, okay, so I wanted to, I don't know, write a best-selling book. I wouldn't just picture the book on a shelf, like on a bookshelf.
No.
I'd imagine myself holding it,
Yeah.
feeling the weight of it.
Feeling it.
Maybe smelling the fresh ink.
Yes, exactly. You want to make it as real as possible in your mind's eye. Then the next step is to relax your body.
Okay.
Get into a state of drowsiness, like you're, kind of drifting off to sleep. But crucially, you're maintaining control over your thoughts.
So you're kind of on that edge of dreamland, but still at the wheel.
But you're driving.
Okay.
And in this state, you repeatedly imagine yourself experiencing that scene, bringing in all your senses, feeling the emotions associated with it.
So for my book example,
Uh-huh.
I might imagine myself signing copies at a bookstore for excited readers.
Yes.
Feeling that joy of sharing my work,
Feeling it.
hearing them tell me how much they love it.
Yes, exactly. And Goddard believes that by practicing these controlled waking dreams consistently,
Mm-hmm.
we can actually influence the course of our lives, shift our reality to align with our desires.
Okay, now I got to ask, how does he explain this? I mean, it sounds pretty wild.
It does sound wild.
How can simply imagining something make it real?
Right.
Well, this is where he brings in this concept of dimensions.
Okay.
He argues that we're living in a dimensionally larger world
Okay.
where time is not linear like we perceive it.
So it's not just a straight line from past to present to future.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
He uses this analogy of a book. We experience life like reading a book one page at a time.
Yeah.
But in this dimensionally larger world, all the pages, they already exist simultaneously.
So it's like we're flipping through the pages of our lives.
Yeah.
But we could potentially access other pages, other possibilities, if we knew how.
Exactly. And Goddard suggests that through these controlled waking dreams, we can essentially move along the dimension of time,
Whoa.
accessing and influencing events in what we call the future.
So it's not that the future is set in stone,
Mm-hmm.
but rather that there are multiple potential futures.
Yeah,
And our imagination gives us the power to choose which one we experience.
we got it. I like that. Okay, so Goddard, he even goes further. He shares his own personal experience of achieving a state of what he calls perfection through intense meditation.
Yeah, he describes feeling like a being of fire.
A being of fire.
And even being able to heal people in his visions.
Wow.
So this raises a really interesting question. What's the connection between our inner transformation
Yeah.
and the changes that we see out there in the world?
It seems like Goddard is saying that true change
Yeah.
starts within ourselves.
Within that,
Yeah.
by transforming our inner world, we can also transform our outer reality.
And he emphasizes that there's no one to change but self,
Right.
meaning that our focus should be on our own inner transformation rather than trying to change other people or external circumstances.
Exactly.
So instead of wishing that, I don't know, my boss was different, I should focus on changing my own beliefs and actions
Exactly.
to create the conditions for, I don't know, a promotion or a better work environment.
Right. And a key part of that inner transformation is cultivating what Goddard calls lovely and good thoughts and desires.
Okay.
Allowing our imagination to draw in positive experiences.
So it's not just visualizing any random thing. It's about aligning our imagination with what is truly good and beneficial
Yes.
for ourselves and others.
That's it.
I like that.
And this is where the power of feeling comes in.
Okay.
Goddard stresses that it's not enough to just visualize something. We also need to feel the emotions associated with the desired outcome.
So it's not enough to just picture myself getting that promotion. I need to actually feel
Yes.
the excitement, the sense of accomplishment.
Feel it as if it's happening now.
Yeah.
Because, as Goddard says, feeling is the ascent of the subconscious.
It's like we're sending a message to our subconscious.
Yes.
This is what I want. This is what I believe is possible. And I'm already feeling the joy of it.
Exactly. And that's such a crucial part of Goddard's teachings, this idea that our subconscious mind is so receptive to the images and feelings that we impress upon it.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all connects, but I got to be honest. I'm still a little skeptical.
I get it.
I mean, some of this sounds
Yeah.
pretty out there.
It can sound out there. Goddard acknowledges that. He says some of his ideas might seem foolish
Yeah.
to people who believe that reality is just based on external evidence.
But he's essentially challenging us to consider a different perspective.
A different way of seeing things.
Yeah, to explore the possibility that our thoughts and beliefs have a much greater influence on our reality than we realize.
What if it's true?
Yeah.
What if it's true?
So what if our fixed mental attitudes, even if they don't conform to our current reality, could actually, and he says this, bring to naught things that are?
It's a radical idea.
It's a radical idea. It requires a leap of faith.
It does.
But even if we're not ready to buy into the whole package, there's something really compelling about Goddard's perspective.
I think so.
Yeah, he's inviting us to tap into a power that we all possess, the power of our own minds.
Wrong minds.
And who knows, maybe by exploring this power, we might just unlock a world of possibilities that we never even thought were possible.
Exactly.
Okay, so this brings us to, I think, a core concept in Goddard's work.
Yeah.
The I amness.
The I amness.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What exactly is the I amness?
It's essentially our consciousness, our sense of self that I am.
Okay.
Goddard suggests that this I amness is actually the root of all creation.
Wow.
It's the starting point from which everything unfolds.
So it's not just that our thoughts create our reality,
Right.
it's that our very being, our consciousness,
Let's see.
is somehow fundamental to the fabric of reality itself.
Exactly. And he emphasizes that how we define ourselves, our self-concept,
Yeah.
plays a massive role in shaping our experiences.
So if I believe I'm limited or unworthy or incapable, those beliefs will manifest in my life.
They'll show up.
But if I choose to define myself as capable, worthy, connected to something greater,
Yeah.
those beliefs can also shape my reality in a positive way.
Absolutely.
So it all comes back to that fundamental choice. How do I define myself?
Who am I?
Yeah, who do I choose to be?
That's the question.
That's the question. And Goddard suggests that by consciously choosing a more empowering self-definition, we can unlock a future that's more aligned with our truest desires and aspirations.
That's the power of the I amness.
That's powerful stuff. Wow, that's a lot to take in.
It is.
But I have to say, I'm really starting to see the depth and the complexity
Yeah.
of Goddard's work.
It's a journey
It's a journey.
into the depths of human potential.
I'm ready to keep going.
All right, let's do it.
Welcome back. You know, after that last part,
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I just, upgraded my mental operating system or something.
It's powerful stuff.
Neville Goddard is full of these, aha moments, you know?
Totally. And what's striking is that it's like this bridge between, science
Yeah.
and spirituality, you know?
Right.
He's talking about dimensions,
Yeah.
which is like a scientific concept, but then he's blending it with these ideas about consciousness
Mhm.
and dimensionally larger self, which feels like more spiritual, you know?
Yeah. And you can't ignore the biblical references.
Oh, absolutely.
He calls one way of thinking, the mind of Christ, which...
Yeah, it's like it could be a little jarring for some people, but
Yeah, but it seems like he saw a deep connection between that ancient wisdom
yeah.
and what our minds are capable of.
absolutely.
So let's come back to one of the practical tools that he offers, the waking dream technique.
Okay.
This is about consciously using our imagination to impact our future.
Right.
This is where I think a lot of people kind of get tripped up.
Yeah.
Isn't this just positive thinking with extra steps? What makes it different?
Well, and Goddard's very specific that it's not about wishful thinking.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that our beliefs, those assumptions, whether we're conscious of them or not, are creative.
Yeah.
They're constantly shaping our reality.
So if I'm constantly thinking I'm going to be late, I'm going to be late, I'm going to be late, even if I leave on time, some traffic jam is going to magically appear to prove me right.
You got it.
Okay.
But that same principle, the good news is,
Yeah.
it applies to empowering beliefs.
Right.
Like if you believe you can achieve something, you start to act in ways that support that belief.
Yeah.
And then opportunities seem to appear out of thin air.
But it's not just about thinking it, right?
No.
Goddard really emphasizes the feeling aspect
Yes.
of this waking dream technique.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Feeling is the ascent of the subconscious.
Okay.
That's I think, a really key phrase from Goddard.
Okay, this is where I get a little lost. Okay. What's the subconscious got to do with all this?
Well, it's like, Goddard seems to be saying that the subconscious is like this fertile ground.
Okay.
And the images, the feelings that we impress upon it, especially when we're in that drowsy, relaxed state, those are like seeds that take root and grow.
So if I'm trying to visualize, I don't know, a new job that I want,
Uh-huh.
I can't just picture the office.
Right.
I have to feel the relief of having, a steady income.
Yes.
The pride in the work that I'm doing, the
Keep
joy of being part of a great team.
Exactly. You got to feel it.
Yeah.
And the more you repeat that, the more those feelings take hold, the more your subconscious starts to accept that as reality.
Right.
And this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Because Goddard says we don't have to figure out the how.
Wait, hold on. What? We don't need a step-by-step plan.
That's right.
No vision board, no daily
He
affirmations.
says once we've impressed it on our subconscious, the universe, or what he calls the four-dimensional self, takes over.
Okay.
He even says with its larger outlook, the four-dimensional self then constructs the means necessary to realize the accepted end.
Whoa. Okay, so it's about trust.
Yes.
Trusting that there's a bigger picture
Mm-hmm.
and things are working out even if I can't see it yet.
Exactly. It's surrender, faith.
But that doesn't mean being passive, right?
Right. You're not just sitting back
Yeah.
and hoping it happens.
Yeah.
It's about aligning your inner world with that desire and then taking inspired action
Okay.
when opportunities present themselves.
Okay.
And he talks about obeying the voice of desire,
Yeah.
which you can almost interpret as intuition.
So listening to those gut
The
feelings
nudges.
that tell us this feels right.
Yeah.
This is the next step.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's not always easy, you know.
Right.
Sometimes those desires are buried under layers of what we think we should want.
Yeah. All the shoulds. The shoulds based on our upbringing, based on societal pressures.
Right. Yeah. I can see how this could get really complicated.
It can.
How do you even know what you truly desire?
Yeah.
If so much of it is influenced by, these external factors.
That's a question each of us has to grapple with.
Yeah.
It takes introspection, self-awareness, honesty.
Right.
But Goddard's point is, once you connect with that true desire, you have to act on it
You have to act on
with
it.
courage and conviction.
All this talk about desires, it makes me think it's just about like material stuff, like
Yeah.
getting the dream job,
Yeah.
the perfect relationship, financial abundance.
Right.
But it
Yeah.
feels like there's a deeper message here too.
Absolutely. As we go further into Goddard's work, it becomes clear that he's not just talking about, worldly success.
Right.
He's talking about cultivating these lovely and good thoughts,
Yeah.
imagining the best for yourself and for others.
Yeah.
It's about aligning yourself with love, compassion, a sense of wholeness.
So maybe it's not just about manifesting a car or a house, but about becoming like a better, more loving person.
I think that's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
And he even describes his own experience of achieving a state of perfection
Okay.
through this intense meditation,
Yeah.
where he felt like he was a being of fire, capable of healing others.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Beings of fire, healing powers. This is sounding like a superhero origin story now.
It does. It definitely pushes the boundaries
Yeah.
of what we think is possible.
Yeah.
But it speaks to this idea that transforming our inner world
Yeah.
can ripple outward.
Yeah.
It's not just about changing our own reality,
Yeah.
but potentially impacting the world around us.
Okay. My mind is officially blown again.
Yeah, right.
I love it.
That's the beauty of Goddard.
Yeah.
He challenges our assumptions. He invites us to consider a completely different way of looking at reality.
Yeah.
And reminds us that we're not just passive observers.
But active participants in creating our lives.
So what do you think? Are you ready to embrace the power of your imagination and start shaping your future? Welcome back to The Deep Dive.
Part 3.
We're wrapping up our exploration of Neville Goddard's Out of This World.
It's a wild ride.
And I'm starting to think this book needs, like, a warning label. May cause radical shifts in perception.
I like that.
Because, one thing that Goddard makes really clear is this whole imagination shaping reality thing. It's not passive.
It's not.
It
No.
takes effort.
Discipline
Yeah.
and willingness to really look at our thoughts and beliefs.
Yeah, he compares it to an athlete
Yeah.
training for a competition.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just visualize winning a gold medal and expect it to happen.
Right. You got to put in the work.
You got to put in the work,
Yeah.
push through the challenges.
Exactly.
And he even talks about how our attention is like this precious resource.
And it's so easy to get distracted by worries, doubts, or just the constant stream of information coming at us,
Right, all the noise.
Yeah, all the noise.
The noise.
But to really master this power of imagination, we have to learn to control our thoughts,
Yeah.
direct our attention where we want it to go.
Focus. Focus is key.
Focus is key.
It's a practice.
It's a practice, like building a muscle.
Exactly. And just like with physical training, There will be setbacks.
Yeah.
There will be moments of doubt,
Oh,
times when
absolutely.
we fall back into old patterns.
Right.
But Goddard, he reminds us that real change,
Yeah.
it's not about rearranging the furniture in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a fundamental shift in consciousness.
It's about questioning those deep-seated beliefs
Yeah.
that might be holding us back, you
Well,
know?
as we're not even aware of.
Yeah, if I have this underlying assumption like I'm not good enough, no amount of positive thinking is going to magically fix that.
He nails it. He says, everything we do unaccompanied by a change of consciousness is but futile readjustment of surfaces.
Wow.
So it's not just about changing our circumstances. It's about
Yeah.
changing how we see
The lens.
the lens
Yeah.
through which we see the world.
Yeah, and ourselves.
Okay, so how do we actually do that?
Right.
How do we cultivate that inner transformation?
Well, Godard, he really emphasizes focusing on what he calls lovely and good thoughts.
Okay.
And he uses this beautiful metaphor. Desire and imagination are the enchanter's wand of fable, and they draw to themselves their own affinities.
So if I want to attract more beauty, love, joy into my life,
Yeah.
that's where my thoughts and energy need to be focused.
It's like we're constantly broadcasting a signal,
Okay.
and the universe is responding in kind.
Right.
So if we're broadcasting, fear, lack, negativity,
Yeah.
that's what we're going to get back.
But if we choose to focus on abundance,
Right.
gratitude, the things that light us up,
Yeah, the good stuff. The good stuff, those things are going to start showing up in our lives.
they will.
Okay.
And it's not just about thinking it.
Yeah.
It's about feeling it.
Right, right.
Godard even suggests using affirmations, repeating phrases that embody that desired state, but do it with feeling,
Okay.
as if it's already true.
Okay.
So instead of just saying, I am healthy and strong
Yeah.
in a robotic voice,
Right.
really try to embody that feeling.
Feel it.
Feel the vitality.
Yeah.
Feel the well-being.
Yeah, and he recommends doing this in a relaxed, drowsy state, like you're drifting off to sleep.
Yeah, because in that state, our subconscious mind, it's more receptive.
Okay.
It's like we're bypassing the critical filter of the conscious mind
Right.
and planting those seeds of possibility
Yeah.
directly into the subconscious.
It's powerful stuff, but I gotta be honest. This is a lot to take in.
I get it.
I imagine some people listening might be feeling a little overwhelmed, like, where do I even begin?
That's understandable,
Sure.
Goddard's ideas, they're not for everyone.
Right.
They require, an open mind,
Yeah.
a willingness to challenge your assumptions,
Totally.
and a commitment to doing the inner work.
It's a journey.
It-
It's not a quick fix.
No magic bullet.
No magic bullet, yeah.
It's a journey of self-discovery, of transformation.
But for those who are drawn to his teachings,
Uh-huh.
it can be incredibly empowering.
It can.
Goddard offers a path to freedom,
Freedom.
a way to break free from the limitations of our past conditioning.
Yeah. All that baggage.
All that baggage, yeah.
And create a future aligned with our truest desires.
He's saying, you are not a victim of circumstance.
You are a creator.
You are a conscious creator with the power to shape your own reality. And that's a powerful message.
That's a powerful message.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Out of This World, I want to leave you with a few questions to ponder.
Okay, good.
What assumptions are you currently holding that might be limiting your experience?
That's a good one.
What would it look like to consciously choose more empowering beliefs and embody them through your imagination and feelings? And most importantly, what future do you want to create?
The power's within you.
The power is within you. Thanks for joining us on this mind-bending journey. Until next time, keep diving deep.